and the front together, we would now readjust the shoulder depth to have the exact value we want, which is 9. So right now I'm going to be marking my armhole depth to be 7 inches instead of 9 inches. So our armhole depth is to stop here. So I will connect this line from this slant. I will connect to this point and I have it like so. So from here, please, from this point to this point is our armhole depth. Okay, so I'll just cross it like this to form like an L shape. So you have it going this way from here to here. Of course, this part is not part of it. Okay, so from here, from this point to this point, our shoulder, our slanted to shape our shoulder for the slant. Then we came down by 7 inches, and this is what we have. Now, having done this, you want to measure your chest circumference. Okay, for guys, for male we call it chest. For female, you call it your bust circumference. Okay, so for this particular shirt, our chest circumference is 40. 40 divided by 4 is 10. Why did I divide by 4? Because this particular pattern, when I'm tracing on my fabric, I'll put the fabric on fold. So we have 2 parts for the front, and the back also has 2 parts, though we will not cut the back open. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 parts making up the entire shirt block. So 40 divided by 4 is 10. Now from this line here, don't forget all measurement starts from this line. From this line, I'm going to mark 10. Okay, so that 10, remember I said on this pattern I'm going to be adding my allowances. So to that 10, I'm going to be adding 1 inch, making 11 inches. And of course, you can add more than 1 inch as you're sewing in allowance, but I'm using 1 inch. So from this point to this point, I have 11 inches. Okay, now because it is not a fitted shirt, I'm going to be marking 11 inches all the way down to the length of the shirt. But if you are making a fitted shirt, let's say for a female, you want to also consider the waist circumference. You want to take note of where the shoulder to bust, shoulder to waist, shoulder to hip, if it's going to get to the hip, and you want to take the appropriate circumference. And of course, you know that when you are folding your fabric, you fold according to the biggest part of your client's body. So if your client's tummy is bigger than the chest, you want to use the tummy's circumference to fold your fabric. But if your client's, in this case, the chest is bigger than the tummy, so we use our chest circumference to actually divide. Okay, so before taking this measurement down, let's take our shirt, the length of the shirt. So from this point here, from this beginning point, the length of this shirt we are drafting is 29. Because we are making a shirt that will have a shoulder drop, I would minus 1 from that 29. That brings us to 28. And to that 28, I'm going to be adding 1 inch for our allowance to fold at the down. So that brings us back to 29. So I'll be marking the length of this shirt to be 29. Remember how we got to that 29? So I'll mark it across. Please take note of where I placed my tape rule. It starts from the straight line here. Okay, so I'll just mark 29 all across, even to the bottom placket here. Okay, and I'll connect all points together into a straight line. Okay, please feel free to ask your question. Okay, so I'm just connecting the points together. So here is the length of this shirt. So I'm going to be taking, we took 11 from here to here, so I'll take the same value at this end point here. Remember, it's not a fitted shirt, so we are taking our chest measurement all the way down. Okay, so at different points I'm marking 11 inches so that I can connect all the points together. And of course, your shirt can have a slit by the side. This is the side. your shirt can have a slit. So the hem of your shirt, the hem of the shirt must not be straight like this. You can decide to curve it. So I'm connecting all the points together. Okay, so we are almost done drafting the front block of our shirt. We are almost done with the front block. So here is what the point we have gotten to. So right now I'm going to be shaping our armhole, but we're going to do the real shaping when we join the back and front together. Now, normally we ought to do our across front shaping, across back shaping to eliminate folds around the armhole, but we'll do that when we connect the front and back together. So right now, I will just be doing a temporary armhole shaping with my armhole curve. Please, okay, let me use a different color. So I'll just be connecting together like so. Please place your curve properly. So this right here is a temporary curve. We are going to be reshaping this much later. Okay. So this is what we have right now. So I will just be cutting this out, and we can now use this to trace, to cut the back. Okay. Okay, so now we can cut out. So if you're drafting on pattern, you want to use a paper scissors. Okay, so we'll just be cutting out what we have right now. Remember, I said that this M area, this down part, you can make it curved. Okay, you can make it curved, you can make it straight. So we have cut out that part. So right now I'm going to cut the sides. Cut along the sides. Then the armhole area, remember that we are still going to reshape our armhole considering the across back and the across front. Okay, but for now, let's make do with this. So I'm cutting off the slants. So here is what we have. Okay, here is what we have right now. Let me take off these other parts. So here is what we have as our front pattern for our shirts, the front block for the shirts we are drafting. So here is the front block, okay, of the basic corporate shirts we are drafting. Now to draft the back block, if you're drafting directly on your fabric, all you want to do is to pick up your fabric, you put on fold, okay, along the selvage end, put on fold. Now the uncut part, don't forget that for the back part there is no opening. The opening is at the front. Okay, so the uncut part for the back, when you fold, the part that is not cut, that is not open, is where you will start measuring from. Of course, you know this already. So but in this case, we have our pattern for the back laid flat like this. So you want to pick up the front. Now pay attention to what I'll be explaining now. Remember that the front has a button placket, and on the button placket we removed the button overlap allowance. So this button from here to here, this button overlap allowance would not be on the back pattern. It would not be on the back pattern. So we are going to move it away. So please look at what I'm going to do. You notice I did not place my front pattern on the back like this. I did not align it like this. I moved it away from that 1 inch. Okay, so you want to do the same thing. You want to move it away like this. Okay, so just move it away from the top to the bottom. Okay, from the top to the bottom. Okay, so let me bring it this way so you can see it clearly. So from the top here, from the top to the bottom, you want to make sure that the 1 inch is not in the back. Okay, so when you must have done this, okay, then we want to this slanted part here, we want it to appear on this back pattern too. So just come from this neck area here. Okay, from the neck area here, you want to, I want to make sure, okay, I hope you can see. So you just want to cut, you want to follow the front shaping to shape out the back, the 3 inches, then the slant. Then you want to extend it. It should go beyond the armhole. You can see it went beyond it. I did not stop here. Okay, I went beyond it, and from that point also I'm going to step down. Okay, from that point I'm going to also step down by some inches. Okay, so you can see what I did. Okay, so I extended beyond this slant here, and I also came down. Okay, I also came down. So you want to also do that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to, on the back pattern, because we want a type of shirt that has a shoulder drop, on the back pattern I'm going to be adding 3 inches. You can add 3.5. You can even add more than that, depending on how wide you want that shoulder drop to look. But in this case, I will just be stepping down by 3 inches. So from the hem of the front. So just watch what I'm going to do. So from the hem of the front here, I'm marking 3 inches on the back. Okay, so I'm extending the back by 3 inches. So I'll just make points and connect the points into a straight line. So we have it going that way. So I will connect all those points you're seeing. I would connect into